Hey, how's it going? This is part 2 of the decorating the cookie container, and I think it's also part 2 of the prep work, because this is what I have to do is I have to put Mod Podge on here and see if this will, if the colors will bleed when I put the Mod Podge on. I really have no idea. I did not go searching for this answer online or anything. So, and it's been so long. Like, when did I do this? I think I put the date in the video, the part 1 video, and I just can't remember. I didn't go back in and look. Okay, so I have to, what did I put here? This is the board, and I did this probably February, maybe? February. Staedtler pigment liners. Oh, liner 0.3. Copic multi-liner black 0.3. Millimeter, like, for the nib. So, I don't know why I put that there. Like, which one is Copic, Tammy, and which one is Staedtler? Okay, so I also wrote on here, see if I can read it. I can't read it. For testing Mod Podge on FC Pitt Artist Brush Pens. Oh, Feb 2026? Really? I can't read my own writing. Ones I may want to use 39 total colors on this board. Okay, so this side, ones I may want to use, and then of course I have black. From black and downward, I'm not using these, I'm just filling up spaces. And then I have to explain everything to you. And so these are probably ones I'm not going to use as well. And at the time, not much darker than phthalo green. So phthalo green and dark phthalo green. Well, this is it's a little bit darker here, but it's a different shade than this one. This is like an evergreen. Okay. At the time that I did this, I was thinking that I used the Pitt Artist brush pens for my container. This container, I was thinking, oh yeah, that looks pretty cool. And when I put the Mod Podge on it, the colors started bleeding, especially the pink and the greenish or greenish teal. When I put that Mod Podge on, so excuse me. So when I was in editing, I think it was in editing, I realized that I use I realized I used the SanJoki alcohol ink markers on this bowl. This bowl I had colored in with the SanJoki alcohol ink markers. And what made me realize that was I was cleaning back there, sorting through stuff and everything, and I found the SanJoki case. And I was like, wow, that's weird. Why do I have that out? Do I have that out because I still need to swatch them? I think I still need to swatch them. And, you know, so I didn't think anything of it. You know, I kind of left them there because I thought, okay, I need to swatch them, and I really don't have a place right now except upstairs to keep them. And if I'm going to swatch them soon, I want to have them downstairs. So I just kept it there, and that's when I just, you know, went about finishing the cleanup and organizing over there. And then when I was in editing, it occurred to me, that was blue, by the way, if you heard that noise. And that's when it hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh, no wonder those were bleeding. It's because they were alcohol ink markers. That sometimes alcohol ink markers will bleed when you apply Mod Podge to them, some of the colors. Like the violet here did not at all. The blue did not at all. But there are 4 colors in here. 2, so 50% bled and 50% didn't. So the magenta and the green, teal, whatever color that is, I really didn't check in the SanJoki case, but all along I thought it was the Pitt Artist brush pens. Okay, now I know I'm kind of wasting my time here. So there are 39 colors here, and this is probably maybe 3 or 4 of these colors I'm going to use. I still, for sure, this one. It looks like, Indanthrene. Oh, I have that twice. I have, oh, I'm thinking maybe, I was like, I think the reason I did this was to see if I put Mod Podge over, will the Mod Podge bleed, will it smudge the Statler, will it smudge the Copic? And I think that's why I put those there in particular. But there are some repeats here across the board. These 2 are the same. These 2 are the same. I think that's it. It's weird that I was surprised I didn't put here, these will bleed or something. Because when I did this, I was still thinking that the Pitt Artist brush pens, that I used those to color that bowl. Speaking of the bowl, I did put Mod Podge in the inside the bowl here. I did that yesterday, and of course I did this on camera. And then, did I show that on camera? Were you able to see that? I don't know. But what I'm thinking about doing is adding maybe 1 or 2 more coats to this to really seal it in, because now I can do it and I can wipe completely over it. I should be able to wipe completely over it without any of the color coming off or anything like that. And that also explains why some of these colors are super light, and it's because of the, oh, here I think. And that's because the Mod Podge was pulling up the color and pulling out that color. So that's why some of it is really light. I wonder if I can take the SanJoki alcohol ink markers. And now this is a legitimate, curious, what? Wondering, I guess. I don't know. Because I've worked with alcohol ink markers and Mod Podge together, and I remember experiencing putting putting alcohol ink marker over the Mod Podge, and that alcohol ink marker making the Mod Podge, after it's already been dried for over 72 hours, picking up that sealer. That's crazy. So the alcohol ink marker, the alcohol serves as kind of a solvent of sorts, maybe. So that really scares me about this. Like, oh my gosh, am I gonna have problems with this? Okay, so I used to put the Mod Podge into the bowl yesterday. I used these makeup wedges, and as you can see, like this one, even though I went over the green, and this is the green. The green, that's not green, this is blue. I'm thinking the blue is more of a milder blue. I'll have to see if I have them grouped, you know, in a row, all 4 colors or something in the case, in the SanJoki case. And then the pink was lifted a little bit, so I thought I would show you those, just in case, you know, you need to see them. I'm gonna put this over here on the desk. Also, yesterday, since I had the Mod Podge out, I put Mod Podge over this scissor sheath and this is, I think, oh, I also had to secure this with more glue, and then I put the Mod Podge right over that part because it was coming up, because I kept stabbing it, you know, like, is it going this way? This is kind of a little arrow here, the design, to tell me that this is the front. Is this the front? No. Okay, this is the front. So, this is the front, not the TJN initials there. And even then, I might have to turn it to put it in there so that I'm not wrecking it here. Because even though there's Mod Podge on there, you know, it's not a secure part there. You know, I can still rip it out and everything. It's just glue that was... Okay, that's done. Okay, then I'm gonna run Mod Podge over this too. I made this little sheath for the Westcott scissors. Oh. What is on there? What is on there is the little Westcott symbol right there. I thought it was like a stain or something. I made this out of double corrugated cardboard that I had lying around, and it's a very dark design. And this I did with the Pitt Artist brush pens, including the black outline. Okay, this was part of the testing that I did, and I actually took this off, and I thought, oh, I want to put that back on because what if I need to show it like now? Okay. And then this is the cookie container covered with masking tape. All kinds of tiny little pieces of torn masking tape, and I want to color it in with markers, preferably markers that won't bleed when I add Mod Podge to it. That's a lot of glare there. I'm like, can I turn this? So that's what it is. Okay, and that was the test part that I did, which is so weird. This was putting Mod Podge down on the masking tape first, and then putting the color, which changed, made it more vibrant, actually. And that's a good thing, but it doesn't accentuate the edges, which is that's the effect I want, to accentuate those edges. And then this one is directly on the tape. And see how the edges are accentuated there? The India ink does give off a little bit of a shine on the masking tape. And I think you can kind of see that a little bit. I think that's because there's a shine on the masking tape before any color is put down. I'm putzing, I know it. So this is, there will be, I'm not going to decorate the cookie container today or in this video. So I'm going to have a part 3. I know I run the risk of fewer viewers, but, you know, we're only about 2 weeks out from the end of the semester. So maybe when my students are done studying for all of their courses and take the finals, that they'll come back in and watch my videos. Who knows? Or, you know, I mean, that could also apply to other viewers who are subscribed to my channel. Maybe they got things to do. Okay, let's try this one first. This could be the key. Also, I'm thinking about, what am I thinking? Doing that. See, now I should have just done the pink. I don't see any pink there. It's hard to see it because we're talking about white glue on a white makeup wedge there. I don't see any color coming through. That's a very good sign. And since I already ran it across the other colors, this has not, these colors have not yet, you know, I didn't let them sit for 3 days to dry. I don't think they need 3 days to dry to, I mean, maybe to cure. Isn't that the word, to cure? But apparently they don't need that because... No, there is no... I thought maybe I saw some blue, but no, I don't see any blue. So when I put the Mod Podge or brush the Mod Podge with the makeup sponge, it starts to curl, as you can see. It's kind of curling. So then I like to do the other side to kind of even out that. I guess even it out. If possible. Oh, that's right, we're going this way. And I need to get the inside there. I should probably, like, I can hear Blue right now. He's in his box. And he totally destroyed the other box. The cube, the cat cube that I bought from Amazon. And what he did was he tore apart the material that was covering that cube. And I took the whole thing apart. Oh, okay, so this one I have to dry. I have to let sit and dry. Awesome. And am I seeing any color? I don't see any color. I don't see any discoloration, especially from these 4 colors that I used, or 5 colors that I used. This says the middle purple, pink, I think it's called. I'm thinking, no, that's dark pink. Just plain dark pink. So I have to remember that. Okay, so I have a place to put this. So this this little goldfish, cheddar flavored goldfish container. It looks like a little milk container. I just kind of folded the sides in, and then I keep my binder clips there. So I'm going to put it here, and then I take a binder clip that's attached to a tissue box, and I put it there, and it just sits there just like that. It's just a little hack, you know. It's perfect for drying things like scissor sheaths for itty bitty scissors. Okay, so this, I didn't experience any. Oh yeah, that's a little bit wet, but there's no discoloration on here. That's wild. Okay, but to make it totally fair, I don't know how do you want to word that or whatever, to make it totally on the up and up. It's not like, maybe this part is called testing Mod Podge with India ink or something. I don't know. I still don't know the title of this. Okay, so we're just going to do, maybe come down just a little bit here. I said what I should do is I don't see any. Oh, maybe I can do that. That's a very good, I think that's the Copic one though. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm going to try it on the other side. That's maybe too much. I don't expect this to bleed or smudge that one, the Copic one, because that's a very good marker. Very good ink. And I think I've covered items that with Mod Podge where the Copic, where I applied the Copic marker, I think. Like one of the brush pens, I think it was on the giant or the jumbo doodle book cover. What was that? What was the title of that video? I'll have to, now I have to go off looking for it. Okay, let me see. I do not see any smudging. Oh, wait, is it smudged at the R there? And the P? I don't really see it. Is there a discoloration? I don't see I see a little bit of, is that a brown color? I don't really see a discoloration there. I just see white. And a white light. Go toward the light. Okay, let's see. Let me see if... maybe that was a mistake. How did it look when I showed it to you the first time? I don't know. I don't really see nothing on the Copic, but the R looks like it bled a little since we're doing the black. This is important too, because if I want to draw black outlines around the shapes, I don't know if I want to do that, because I kind of want to keep that dark colored edge and in the color that I'm using to color in the shapes. No. No, that's a that's a mistake I made when I was writing, a typo of sorts. Okay, I will test that later on, both on masking tape and cardboard and just plain paper. I also have Mr. Pen multi-liner in assorted colors, multi-liners. Also, no discoloration in the glue here in the lid. That is a very good sign. And we want to do after I put these colors on here, what I did was I think I took cardstock packaging and I just put a strip of it, glued a strip of it, because there's like a 1 millimeter thickness there between the cardboard and this surface, and then I covered the whole thing with torn pieces of masking tape set up in the same fashion as how the cookie container is. Anything? Nothing. That's a good sign. Good. Does that mean I can keep going? I'm just gonna keep going until we get a bleed. Maybe we won't get any. Fingers crossed. Now, did I finish my thought? Because that is a bad problem I have, where I start talking. I'm just gonna go like that. No. I'm going to take a close-up look. No, I don't see any discoloration. Because, I don't know. Moving right along. I figured this is the easiest way to do it without without too many problems getting into the other colors, the unsealed colors. Well, if that's the case, I'm taking chances. I realize I'm going straight up. I'm gonna frame this. Gonna frame my masterpiece later. Put it on my wall. I mean, it's an accomplishment of sorts. Purple Violet, which contains red. Does it really contain red from the manufacturer? I have no idea. I don't know how their colors are mixed, so now we can go up. I could also do this. Okay, wow. How many colors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors I went through. And I see no bleeding, which is promising because this is the part up here where I'm thinking about, these are the colors I'm thinking about using. I'm going to kind of twist it here, showing you this. I know also I'm getting into, maybe I should have done the, I should have done the whole thing on the written part here. Okay, I'm a little almost out of range there. The pink. This is crimson. So, I don't know, but crimson to me is like a dark red, isn't it? Or not a dark red, not a deep dark red like burgundy or something, but a darker red. It's not really, this is giving off like pink or magenta. And the magenta one, is magenta on here? I probably didn't put the magenta. I don't like the Pitt Artist brush pen magenta because it looks like a dried substance that occurs when we cut ourselves. Just in case I'm not allowed to say that on camera. Ooh, black. Maybe I should do it this way. Now, is there any kind of smudging for the crimson? Meanwhile, I got glue like dripping down the thing. No, there isn't. I'm gonna do it this way. See, it's hard to do it like that. Do all of the, from black all the way through black and grays. No, I do not see anything. Awesome. This makes me very happy, Faber-Castell. Very, very happy. No? Getting braver and braver as I enter the orangish colors. Orange. Wow. So what's in the India ink that is preventing the Mod Podge from bringing the color up? And another question is, what is in the alcohol ink markers that allows the Mod Podge to bring the color up? Look at that. Now you might be thinking, oh, well, you know, that just, you did all your colors on this side, so these are not going to bleed either. I'm going to go up this way. Should I go up? Let's go up. Why be normal? Okay. What? I have no idea why. I mean, I'm ecstatic that they're not picking up that the Mod Podge is not picking up this color. Happy, happy, happy. I can move along maybe a little faster. Okay. The red. That's the tricky part, the red. Like, that's red and green are usually the culprits. I'm very happy, Faber-Castell. Now, these markers are selling for a fortune. So you have to be really serious about using India ink if it's an investment right now. And, you know, I mean, I probably paid over $100 for these as well, but I bought them in, I don't know, I can't remember when I bought them, but when I bought them, I think they were, oh no, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to see how much more they are now, but I think they're like $40 more than when I bought them. Usually, when I buy a product and I say, oh, I paid $30 for this, and now they're $25. So they're usually cheaper for my viewers than they were when I bought them a few years ago, which I find strange. That is not the case now. So now everything costs a lot more. But you can get the 12 pack, and really they're kind of expensive too, and you think, I'm only getting 12 colors for this much money? You know, that kind of thinking that we often have. I know I have that thought too. What is comparable to, oh, I was just thinking, I do know what's comparable. What's comparable to these might be the Staedtler pigment brush pens, right? Pigment art, is that what it's called? Yeah. I have them, but I'm gonna have to test those too, because maybe it is just India ink that, I'm going down too far there. Sorry about that. I'm getting carried away with my talking. Maybe it's just plain old India ink that is, preventing Mod Podge from bringing up the color. There, I just went straight across all the grain. Brave soul, that your favorite. That's what I tell my students. I'm your favorite INRW teacher. Your favorite crafty cat lady. I think there are other crafty cat ladies on YouTube. So, getting bold here. This is great. That means I can put it on without fear that Mod Podge is going to take the color away, and it's going to keep the color. I'm going to color, like, do the whole inside here. Since I already did that top part, I know that should not bleed through the color, the black color, because I already coated it. And I think it's had some time to dry. Also, Mod Podge doesn't generally take a long time to dry unless you really put it on there thickly. So if you put it on a nice thick coat, it's going to take some time to dry. I think I'm out of range there. I'm sorry. But this is what I'm doing. When I go out of range, this is what I'm doing. Awesome. So I got a little bit here on the table, on the mat. And now this makes me want to jump up and down for joy, but want to do this up here. And I want this video to be in real time without clip speeds and music, so I'm afraid to look at the clock. I'm just afraid to do it. The reason I Mod Podged the middle here is so that I can add the Pitt Artist brush pens to the middle, sealed. Now we already know that I'm not going to have enough. I'm not going to have enough glue here. I mean, I have enough glue. Oh, yeah. Because I want to see, is it going to be a much darker color? We kind of know already that it might be because of the blue and purple violet that I put on that portion of the tape that I showed. Mod Podge applied first, color applied second. Okay. Getting my fingers mucky by pressing down on it because it's getting a little floppy there. And I do want to do this side as well, so let me put that aside, and I'm just gonna do this. Just do it. Yeah, except it's a little awkward here. We already did that. I know I already did it. Just in case you're saying, hey, you already did that. But, you know, it's good to have a second coat. And I did this too, right? I don't know how dedicated I was to doing that top part up there, but I know I did. Like all the way across here. Now, I'm picking up pieces of cardboard. I want to put that. I'm just gonna paint the whole thing, whether it's has black ink on it or not. So another kind of test I want to see is if I know that I can put the multi-liner pen ink on already sealed surfaces, and that would be another test for me to see if will it come off if I wet my finger. If I wet my finger and apply, you know, I put the Mod Podge, like if I run a wet finger over the already sealed and marker on top, will the black ink come off? I don't think it will because they are permanent. Are we getting anything out of that? Nope. Wow, the Copic. I'm pretty sure I used the Copic for this, not the Staedtler pen. I will test that too, just to be sure, because I'm really not sure if this H and P bled when I put the Mod Podge on there, and it's been sitting there since February, so that's if it's coming off after that, then it's not as permanent as the company claims that it is. So I need to make sure. What does permanent mean? Permanent means it won't, if you hit it with water, it won't come up, or it shouldn't come up. Not necessarily hitting it with Mod Podge, which has a solvent of sorts to it, depending on what you color, or what you cover, I should say, not color. Like alcohol ink markers. Some alcohol ink markers, not all. I can't across the board say that all brands of alcohol ink markers colors will come up with the Mod Podge. Let's go. Okay, so this is what we have. A very shiny, obviously wet. I'm gonna put that in there too. Stirring your makeup wedges, and this was warm water. It's it's not warm anymore. We actually got a little bit of a cold front in. Did I get any of the water on here? Did you? Did anybody see it drip? Let's see, there's Tammy trying to add water to the mix. That's okay, just makes it spread more easily, and I already put that coat down, so. We got a little, so it's like in the mid to, low to mid 60s right now, and it's around a little after 2:30. Yeah, a little after 2:30 in the afternoon on May 2nd, which is astounding because I don't ever remember the beginning of May being this cool in the afternoon. Amazing. I think I am going to use the crimson here to give it a lighter, some parts, you know, a little bit lighter. Like, I don't want it to be all dark. Like, when I did the scissor sheath, the reason I added that middle purple pink is because of the purple violet, the blue. This one right here is ultramarine, and this I think is phthalo blue. So, and then this started out as magenta, but turned into like a dark red that I didn't like. And so I thought, this needs a little bit more. It needs a lighter color, so I just put it down there. Now, what I might do is, I might see if I can go over that, like maybe this portion here with a slightly darker color. And I should be able to do it without it blending in, because this one, I also put Mod Podge on it, as you saw me earlier. So, you know, I might take a different color and put it down there and see if it's acceptable. Can I do that now? Do we have time? No. No, we don't. So we're gonna go with, let's try, you know, I'm gonna try 4 colors. I'm thinking about doing maybe dark phthalo. Maybe I could do the phthalo green, since I know now that these that I didn't use these on that bowl. So I could go with the green and purple violet for sure. Do I want to put a dark? This is kind of dark, as you saw here. I just kept going over it. Look how dark that purple violet is. I kept going over it and over it and over it. I would let it dry in between and just keep, and that's what I got. So it can make a very dark violet color there. Okay. This one, obviously, I didn't go over and over. And the sealer also helps keep the accentuating the edges there. It helps that. So maybe cobalt turquoise. Always have to have turquoise, and turquoise must be in the mix. Maybe I should do that green, or one of these greens, like this permanent olive green. That looks pretty nice, and this one too, the leaf green. That is so cool. And now there's lots of shininess. I probably should not have done that because setting up my screenshot is going to be a little difficult. I don't really want that glare to be there. That's all I have for you. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and have a creative day. Bye.